Hi everybody. I know my hair is pulled up. It is really hot to me where I live. I don't even understand what happened to the weather. It went from literally so cold that you had to wear a jacket to give me a tank top immediately. I don't even know. So my hair is pulled up. There is a fan going on in the background. I know it's really, you can probably hear it, really aggravating. Sorry, can't really do a whole lot about that. It's burning up. I'm not turning it off, just saying. Okay. Just wanted to get all that little bit of information out of the way. Also, my TV's off, so you might be able to hear me a little bit better versus times that I've recorded with the TV on, which is literally like all the time. I'm not very professional. Sorry. Yeah, if you can tell, I'm recording on a laptop. That's not professional at all, but oh well, whatever. Like I mentioned in one of my other videos, I'm not here doing this to like take in the money. I'm just here to give my opinions and hopefully somebody agrees with them or whatever. If you don't, that's cool too. Doesn't really matter. Anyway, so I figured since I address this channel as a otaku and identify as such, that we would talk about anime in this lovely video that I'm going to call Anime 101, because I'm literally the most original human being on the planet Earth. No. But I figured I would kind of help all the people that are new to the scene and want to kind of get into anime or whatever. So I'm first going to start by telling you a couple of like key words you're going to hear throughout this community, I guess we'll call it that. And then we're going to kind of talk about what they are, and then I'll mention a couple of anime that most people start off on, and you can kind of go on your way and watch whatever you want. You can watch them or you can watch other ones, whatever. It doesn't affect me at all. So, good luck. So to jump right into this, first and foremost, we need to address like what anime means, what it looks like, all that jazz. So, anime, by definition, in accordance to like being from America, because I'm from America, so I can only tell you that. Anime is basically, it's Japanese animation, but in order to tell the difference between American or Western like cartoons versus like anime, a Western cartoon that is probably prominent that like everyone knows or everyone has heard of is SpongeBob. That's, you know, just the first sort of thing that came into my mind. And an adult Western cartoon that you probably know is called Family Guy. So it's more of a like, I'm trying to think of how to describe the art style. Obviously those are two different art styles, but they're like really whimsical, or like more like we don't really take stuff too much like seriously when it comes to our animation style, whereas like an anime could be considered a bit more serious or a bit more like time consuming. I'm not saying that, you know, Western cartoons are not time consuming, but I mean as far as like artwork and things go, it could possibly take a little bit longer to create an anime depending upon the artist and all that jazz. But anyway, so I have like a little book here, and just to kind of give you an example, I'm not really for sure what this particular anime is, but you could say like the art style is definitely a whole lot different than westernized cartoons like SpongeBob and Family Guy. It's a little bit more sharp on the edges, like with the face and everything. The eyes are usually a little bit, you know, bigger, not all the time. I'm just giving you my definition of it. So I'm not exactly the connoisseur for this thing. I can't speak. I'm not exactly the pro with this particular thing, but I'm just showing you some examples. So outside of anime, you'll have what they call a manga, which some people pronounce manga, but I pronounce it manga because I heard it pronounced that way, and that's how I learned how to say it. So once again, I'm giving you an example from this magazine of what exactly a manga is. So a manga is basically a Japanese equivalent to like an American comic book, pretty much. So you got your panels and all that. You read it a bit different than what you would American comic books if it's translated. I have a couple of mangas on the bookshelf, which you guys have probably already seen, and I've probably also already explained how to read it. If you don't know, I will link you to a video where I show a couple of my, like my collection off. I have I don't have a whole lot. I have a very small collection. The reason I have a small collection is like money is an issue, but also room on where to like put things. So, those are your two like words you're gonna hear thrown out a whole lot. And obviously you just, like you heard me refer to myself and my channel as like an otaku. This magazine's actually called that, Otaku USA. But anyway, what that pretty much means, or what that translates to, is it's like a person that is enthusiastic about some kind of like video game, anime, or something else. Here in America, we would probably refer to that person as like a little bit of a nerd, which is fine by me. I honestly don't care. I like a lot of what I'm going to call nerd culture. So, your Star Wars, your anime, I like a little bit of video games, but like not a whole lot. I'm not a huge gamer. I know, don't get offended. So that's pretty much what that word means. You'll probably hear that thrown around a little bit too throughout the community. Another thing too is another word that really is just getting like thrown every which way nowadays is the word weeaboo, which you've probably heard, and I normally wouldn't use, but for education's sake, we're going to look at that word, which pretty much, from what I understand, it refers to any sort of person now, apparently, that enjoys anime. So you're probably going to get called that online, but I've never experienced it in person, so like, I literally just hit myself in the face. Whoops. So I've never experienced it in person. You might, I don't know. I'm probably a little bit older than a lot of people that are watching me. Maybe not, I don't know. So you're going to hear that thrown around a little bit. Don't worry about that. That's nothing. The actual word itself has some roots. It pretty much refers to a person that enjoys Japanese culture, but enjoys it in sort of like a, like you become engulfed by it, and you do not appreciate your own culture. You do things that may offend people like from Japan just because like you don't know or whatever. I think the best example I can think of is like assuming that Japanese culture or people are like how Dragon Ball Z is, for example, or something. Like just assuming everybody looks and acts and talks the same or whatever. That's kind of what that is. So it's like stereotyping a whole group of people, which is bad. Yeah. So that's like your basic vocabulary words. There's not like a whole lot you need to know. Honestly, like you don't even really need to know these words. There's no like actual, like you're not like, oh, I gotta know these words, whatever. it's just something I thought I'd share a little bit to kind of educate those that might not know or want to hear when I think about that sort of thing. I also have another video if you want to check that out. I'll link it down below. It is what not to do as an anime fan, which I know I'm gonna get probably a lot of like judgment on, but there's like some stuff that I feel should not be a thing. So if you want to check that out, that'll be down below in the description. One more thing before I go, just to kind of show you a little something. There's also, like, if you become a fan, obviously there's going to be merchandise and things of that nature, but I'm just going to show you the back of this for an example. Occasionally you'll have, like, little figurines and things of that nature, and people like to collect those sort of things, which I think is totally fine. It's cool. You do whatever you want. I personally don't have a lot of figurines. That's, as we mentioned earlier, I don't have a lot of room. You don't have to have a lot of figurines. I'm just telling you some stuff so that you know. Yeah. So that's like my basic definitions for stuff that all of you who want to get into this lovely community. It is a great community. It brings a lot of people together. There's a lot of really super nice people. Yeah, so I'm gonna do a couple more videos on like some anime that I recommend for people that are starting off. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about them. I'm gonna kind of do that. I'm also gonna recommend a couple of YouTubers, possibly in that video or in another video, if you really want to learn more about anime. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Check me out in my next video. I post every Saturday. If you would, please make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss anything, because like I said, I post every Saturday. I don't have a time that I post. I just, just whenever. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you want, you can comment down below if I forgot anything, if you want to add anything in, whatever. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys later. Bye bye.